Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is not just all talk, he will put in the hard work and chase his goals seriously, so there's a good chance he'll achieve quite a bit in his career. He has the ambition and drive to make things happen, and he's also very clever and creative, which helps him stand out. Just keep in mind he's moving fast and not always waiting for others to catch up.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he stays steady and doesn't let emotions take over. He's not the type to panic, raise his voice, or sulk loudly. He tends to keep calm and move on to the next step. He handles setbacks quietly and keeps going, even if he faces them mostly on his own.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work will probably respect his talent and the way he gets things done, but they may not always like him. He's direct and doesn't soften his words, so some coworkers might find him too blunt or even rude at times. He's not the team's favorite, but he's recognized for his skills and strong work ethic.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
He's unlikely to feel jealous or threatened if you do well. He's quite confident in himself and doesn't see your success as a problem for him. He might not shower you with praise or go out of his way to celebrate, but he won't try to pull you down either. There won't be drama or sulking. He's more likely to quietly acknowledge your hard work and then return to focusing on his own path.
What if you start earning more than him?
He won't secretly resent you or feel insecure if you earn more than him. He's comfortable enough with himself and doesn't tie his worth to who brings home a bigger paycheck. Instead, he'll quietly accept the situation and focus on his own work and goals.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's not the most careful when it comes to managing money. Planning and keeping track of every rupee isn't his style. He tends to go with the flow and sometimes spends on things he finds interesting or exciting without much thought for tomorrow. He might forget to budget or delay paying bills because he's busy chasing new ideas or opportunities.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He doesn't usually pretend to be richer than he is, but he also doesn't pay close attention to living strictly within his means. He follows what catches his interest and sometimes spends extra on things that excite him without much planning. He rarely buys things just to show off. He simply acts on what feels right in the moment.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't very open handed or warm when it comes to kindness, and he's not known for going out of his way to help or comfort others. At the same time, he's also not tight with money. He's okay with spending, especially on things he likes or finds interesting, but it's not done to make others feel special. You probably won't see big hearted gestures or thoughtful acts, and he might seem distant or self focused at times.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't the type to hide money or be controlling about it, but he also won't be very open or talkative. Most of the time, he manages his own finances quietly and keeps things to himself, not really out of secrecy, but because he just doesn't think to share much. If you ask, he'll tell you, but you may need to be the one to start the money talks.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's not likely to see housework as only your job, but he also won't naturally step in or stay organized with chores. He won't insist you do it all, but don't count on him to notice what needs to be done or to follow a routine. He often gets caught up in his own world and might forget about housework altogether.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's unlikely to supervise you or boss you around, but he also won't jump in with chores and diapers on his own. If you ask him directly and give simple, clear instructions, he might lend a hand, but he doesn't naturally notice what needs doing around the house. Being clear and direct is key if you want real help.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He doesn't usually argue just to prove himself right, but he also doesn't make much of an effort to understand your side deeply. When you share your feelings, he's more likely to listen quietly or keep to himself rather than start a fight. He prefers to avoid drama by stepping away, rather than standing his ground or picking a fight.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually stays calm and doesn't lash out with hurtful words or aggressive actions. He isn't the type to yell, break things, or insult you. Instead, he might go quiet, withdraw, or step away to cool off.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he is not the kind of man who gets angry quickly. He stays pretty steady and doesn't lose his temper easily, even when things go wrong. It's rare to see him raise his voice or act out in anger.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He's not the type to blame you or create drama, but he also might not be quick to say sorry or openly take responsibility. Usually, if he realizes he's made a mistake, he'll handle it quietly, maybe by changing his actions rather than using words to apologize. You probably won't hear a big sorry speech, and he might avoid the conversation altogether, hoping things just go back to normal.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he will respect your boundaries when you say no. He isn't pushy or forceful, and he prefers to keep his distance rather than cross lines you set. He doesn't enjoy drama or fights, so he won't push back or try to change your mind.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he's not the kind of man who takes it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. If you say you're not up for it, he's unlikely to sulk, argue, or make you feel bad. His response is more about moving on than making a scene or taking things to heart.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He isn't the kind to use something personal against you, tease you in a hurtful way, or embarrass you in front of others. Even if he's not very emotionally warm, he won't betray your trust or use your vulnerability as a weapon.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He's not easily distracted by other women and is likely to be faithful in a relationship. He stays focused on his own interests and goals rather than chasing attention or excitement outside. While he might not shower you with affection, You don't have to worry about him wandering off or seeking someone else.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not over possessive. He doesn't act jealous, controlling, or watch your every move. In fact, he values his own space and expects you to have yours too.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, a protective nature is not a cover for being controlling. He isn't the type to hover over you, set rules, or make you feel trapped under the name of care. You won't be smothered by constant questions or possessiveness from him.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He won't expect you to do all the work, but he also won't naturally jump in as a full teammate in parenting. Most of the time, he'll be focused on his own pursuits and might not notice everything that needs to be done for the kids. Otherwise, the day to day tasks and emotional load may fall mostly to you.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't react with shouting or harsh words, even when things go wrong. Instead, he might become quieter or step back for a while, letting things settle down on their own.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
Yes, he will support your role as both a mother and your own person. He doesn't feel threatened by your independence and won't try to keep you in a box. While he may not always notice the effort you put into balancing everything, he'll respect your choices and freedom.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he is not the kind of man who will support your career at first and then pressure you to quit after you have a child. He respects your independence and doesn't tie your worth to just being a mother or a homemaker. If you ever need extra help or encouragement, you'll need to speak up, but he won't stand in your way.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to just act polite on the surface with your parents rather than show real warmth or build a deep connection. He will do what is expected, like greeting them or making basic conversation, but it may feel a bit formal or distant. He doesn't naturally invest in building strong emotional bonds with others, even with family. He is unlikely to expect your family to change for him, but he also won't go out of his way to adjust or fit in with them.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it calmly and won't make things worse. He's not the type to start arguments, raise his voice, or create a scene when family problems come up. While he may not rush in to fix things or defend you, you won't have to worry about him adding fuel to the fire.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
No, he is not the kind of man who acts modern with you but expects you to suddenly turn into a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. He doesn't pay much attention to social appearances or family rituals, and he won't pressure you to behave a certain way just for show. You'll get the same kind of freedom with his family as you do with him. He won't make sudden demands about your dress, manners, or role just to please others.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than take sides, even with his own family. He does not enjoy conflict and prefers to keep his distance instead of getting involved. His usual way is to let matters play out quietly and hope things settle down on their own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is not a mummy's boy, and you won't find him blindly siding with his mother or letting her control your life together. But at the same time, he's not quick to take your side either. He doesn't like drama or taking sides, so you may feel alone in the middle of family troubles.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
No, he is not the type to share every detail of your fights or your private life with his mother or sister. He values his own privacy and usually keeps relationship matters to himself, whether things are good or bad. Even when there is trouble between you, he won't rush to tell his family or use them as a sounding board.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Day in and day out, being in a relationship with this man can feel a bit like living beside someone who's quietly busy in his own world. He is driven, hardworking, and rarely creates drama or fights, so life with him is mostly calm and steady.